In this video, I'm going to show you how you can make these ambiguous figures in Blender. Now, an ambiguous figure is a figure that when you look at it from the front to back, you see one image, and when you look from the left to right, you see another image. Now, these are extremely easy to make. I've made two just to show that you can use any silhouettes you want to make these figures. For this example, we're going to be using a guitar and a note. I've also made a dog and a bone just to prove that you can use any silhouettes you want. So if you want to have a go, follow along. Alright, so the first thing we need to do is we need to set up our workspace. We're not going to be using a camera, a cube or a light. So push A to select everything, X to delete and confirm. Next thing we're going to do is going to set our units. We'll come across here, we're going to change from meters to millimeters. And if you push N on your keyboard, come up here to view, and we change a clip start length from 10mm to 0.1. Just like that. Okay. Push N to hide this menu again. Okay, so I'm going to go into front view, 1 on the numpad, Shift A on the keyboard, and I'm going to add in an image and I'm going to add in a background image. Okay. It's library. Pixel A. The first image is classic. I'm going to add Shift A, I'm going to add image, I'm going to add background, and the second image I want is music. Okay. Now I want the guitar to be the other way up, so select the guitar, push R to rotate, Y to lock it to the Y axis, 90 to take it 90 degrees, minus to take it the opposite way, and enter to leave it where it is. Okay. Now I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to hide the guitar to start with, just work on the note. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to add Shift A, I'm going to add Mesh, I'm going to add in a plane, and come down here to this little tab, I'm going to hit Rotate, X axis, and I'm going to rotate the plane 90 degrees on the X axis. Okay, just hide this. Okay, now hit Tab on the keyboard to go into edit mode. What I'm going to do, I'm going to select the bottom two vertices, I'm going to select X to delete, and I'm going to delete vertices. I'm going to delete this top vertice, X, delete vertices. I'm going to select this last one, G, and I'm just going to grab it and drag it up to this top corner, just like that. Hold down Alt, middle mouse wheel, center screen, and mouse wheel zoom in. I'm going to hit G to grab, and I'm just going to line it up with this top corner. Okay, and then I'm going to hit E to extrude, X to lock it to the X axis. I'm going to drag across to this second corner, just like that. Okay, and then I'm going to hit E to extrude, Z to lock it to the Z axis, and I'm just going to drag it down this side, like that. Okay, hold down Alt and the mouse wheel to zoom in. I'm going to zoom in on this point. As you can see, we've got a gap between this and this edge. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to box select these two vertices down this side. I'm going to hit G to grab, X to lock it to the X axis, and I'm just going to bring it across just so it's in line, just so this line's straight. Now this is going to chop off this top corner of this note, but we want this line to be straight. Okay, I'll just select this bottom vertex, G to grab, Z to lock it to the Z axis, and I'm just going to drop it at this top bottom corner here. Okay, and all I'm going to do is I'm going to keep pushing E to extrude. I'm just going to work away around the note like that. Okay, just like a dot to dot picture. Just keep pushing E, extrude, dragging it around. If you want to have a look at what it looks like, you can hit Tab, go into object mode, Tab to go back into edit mode, and if you want a center, don't forget Alt middle mouse wheel to center on the vertices. Okay, just keep pushing E and just keep working your way around. Okay. Okay, and when you get to this last point like this here, all we're going to do is going to select that last vertex, and select this top one, and push F on the keyboard, put in an edge, and then I'm going to hit A to select all vertices, hit F, and I'm going to add in a face. Okay, now, Tab, go into object mode. I'm going to change this plane to be note, just like that, so I know which one it is. I'm going to hide this, I'm going to hide this empty. I'm going to bring back the guitar just like that. We're ready to start working on this one. Okay, so hit Shift A on the keyboard, mesh. I'm going to add in a plane. I'm going to come down here to this tab. I'm going to rotate around the x-axis 90 degrees, just like that. Okay. Tab to go into edit mode. Select two vertices. X, delete vertices. Select one vertex. X, delete vertex. Select this last vertex. G, grab. I'm going to drop it just up here at the top next to this blue line. Okay. Hit Alt, middle mouse wheel to zoom in on it. Now what we're going to do is grab this vertex, G on the keyboard, and we're just going to drop it just to the other side of the blue line, just like that. Okay. I'm going to hit Tab to go into object mode. Come down here to modifiers, add modifier. I'm going to add in a mirror modifier on the x-axis. Okay. What that's going to do is all we're going to do is we're going to make one side of this guitar just like we did with the note, and the computer is going to make the other side for us, and it's going to mirror it. Okay. I'm going to hit Tab to go back into edit mode. I'm going to hit E to extrude, X to lock it to the x-axis. I'm going to extrude along like this. I'm going to hit E to extrude, click to drop it, E to extrude, just like that. Alt, center the camera, and I'm just going to do like 4. I'm just going to work my way around until I get to the bottom. Okay. When you get to the bottom like this, all we're going to do is we're going to hit E to extrude, X to lock it to the x-axis, and we're just going to drag it just across this blue line, just like that. Okay. If hit Tab, go into object mode, we get to see what we've got. Okay. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to apply that modifier. So come across here to modifiers, click the little arrow, apply modifier. Okay. And now I'm going to zoom in on these bottom two vertices. Tab to go into object mode, select them both, hit S on the keyboard to scale, 0 to join them together, enter to leave them where they are. I'm going to do the same at the top, Alt, middle mouse wheel, center it, zoom in, box select them two vertices, S to scale, 0, enter. Next thing I'm going to do, A to select all, right click, I'm going to merge vertices by distance. Just like that. Okay, you'll see two vertices disappear. The next thing to do is push F on your keyboard to add in a face. Okay, I'm going to hit Tab to go into object mode. The next thing I'm going to do, I'm going to hide this empty, and I'm going to rotate this guitar 90 degrees around the Z axis. So I'm going to hit R, Z, 90, just like that. Okay. 1 to go into front view. Okay, so I'm going to call this guitar, so I know which one it is. I'm going to bring back the note, so I can see the note. Okay, and I'm going to hit Tab on my keyboard to go into edit mode. Okay, and what I want to do, I want to hit G to grab, X to lock it to the x-axis. I'm just going to drag it over just so it's the other side of the note like that. Okay. I'm going to hit E to extrude, X to lock it to the x-axis. I'm just going to drag it across just so it comes to the other side of the guitar, of the note, just like that. Okay. So the whole note is now inside the guitar. Okay. And I'm going to hit Tab to go back into object mode. I'm going to select the note, Tab to go into edit mode, A to select the whole thing, and hit 3 to go into side view, A to select everything, G to grab, Y to look at the Y axis, and I'm just going to drag it just to the other side of the guitar, just like that. Okay, and then I'm going to hit E to extrude, I'm going to extrude it across, I'm just going to drag it just to the side of the guitar, just like that. Okay. Hit Tab to go back into object mode. Now if you come up here to edit, go to preferences, add-ons, I'm going to type bool into the box up here, and just put a little tick next to object bool tool. Then what we're going to do is we're going to select the note, hold down Shift, select guitar, then I'm going to hit Control Shift on the keyboard, asterisk, and that's going to join both them two models together. Okay. Now I'm going to go 1 to go into front view. I'm going to Shift A, and I'm going to add in a mesh, and I'm going to add in a cube. Okay. Now the problem we have here is if we were to 3D print this as it is, this point is too small. All the weight down this side, it's going to cause this model to keep rolling over. Okay. So what we need to do is we need to add a base to it, and that's what we're going to do with this cube. Okay. The first thing I'm going to do, I'm going to go to front view and come down to this little tab here. I'm going to change the size of the cube to 100 mil, just like that. Okay. Now that's the overall size I want for my final model. I want it to be 100 mil tall. I'm going to hit S to scale, and I'm going to scale my model down. Zoom in with the mouse wheel, S to scale. I'm just going to scale it down just so it's inside, just like that. Okay. Doesn't have to be exact, just somewhere near. Now next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to select the cube, hit Tab to go into edit mode, hit Z to go into wireframe. I'm going to select these top 4 vertices like that. Okay, back 1 back into front view, and hit X and delete vertices. Okay, I'm going to select the bottom here. I'm going to hit Alt middle mouse wheel to zoom in on the bottom point. I'm going to hit G to grab, Z to lock it to Z axis, and I'm just going to drag it so this note just pops through the bottom, just like that. Okay. 1 to go back into front view, and then I'm going to hit E to extrude, Z to lock it to Z axis. I'm going to take it 8 mil, and I want to take it the opposite direction, so push minus. I'm going to hit Enter, just like that. Okay. And next thing I'm going to do, I'm going to box select this side. I'm going to hit G to grab. I'm going to lock it to the X axis, and I'm just going to bring it in just so it's in line roughly like that. I'm going to do the same at the other side. G to grab, X to lock it to the X axis, just drag it in so it's roughly in line like that. 3 to go into the side view, select the whole thing this time, and hit S to scale, Y to lock it to the Y axis, and I'm just going to scale it in just so it's just a little bit wider than the actual model. Okay, and that's going to serve as our base. Now hit 1 to go into front view again, Tab to go into object mode, select our model, Tab to go into edit mode. I'm going to hit A to select all, I'm going to hit Alt N, and I'm going to recalculate normals outside, and then I'm going to right click it. I'm going to merge vertices by distance. Okay, and I'm going to go back into object mode. I'm going to hit Control A, I'm going to apply all transformations. I'm going to select base, I'm going to hit Control A, and I'm going to apply all transformations. Right, the next thing, select this model on the top, Tab to go into edit mode. I'm going to select one of these vertices down this side, doesn't matter which one. N on the keyboard. I'm going to come up here to item, and I'm going to select its value on the X axis. Control C, copy that value, escape, Tab, select the base, Tab to go into edit mode. I'm going to select all these vertices down this side, and I'm going to paste the X value into there. Okay. Now the reason why we're doing this, Tab to go into object mode, Z, and go back into solid view. The reason being, if we were to 3D print this model as it is, these pegs would be an overhang, so we'd have to print a support to hold them up. But what we have here is we have a completely straight edge, and if we were to print in this direction, we wouldn't have any overhangs whatsoever. What we could do, we could rotate this in Cura or in another program that we're using to make our G code, but instead I like to do it in Blender. That way the model's ready to be 3D printed straight away. Okay, so if we want to go into front view, what I'm going to do is I'm going to select the base, select the hold down Shift and select the model, and I'm going to hit R on the keyboard to rotate, Y to lock it to the Y axis. I'm going to type 90, take it 90 degrees, Enter to leave it where it is. Okay. Now if we were to export this in an STL now and 3D print it, what it would do, it would still try to 3D print it with this axis as the Z axis. So what we need to do You need to select the base, hit Control A, and we're going to apply all transformations. Select the model, Control A, apply all transformations. Okay. And what that's done, that's reset the Z axis. So now when it's exported to the 3D printer, it will automatically be loaded in this direction. Okay. So the first thing I'm going to do, I'm going to file, I'm going to save as. I'm going to save it as guitar, save as. What I'm going to do, file, export, STL. I'm working in millimeters, so change the value to 1000. I'm going to hit export, STL, just like that. Okay. Let's go ahead and let's open that up. There we go. If I push zoom in, what you'll see is the only red spot now is where we're 3D printing. If you select this, hit rotate it 90 degrees this way to the direction it would have been at, what you'll see is we have red marks underneath. What this means is we need to put supports in to print in this direction. So like I say, the direction we had it is absolutely perfect. Okay, so I hope you found that interesting, hope you found that useful. Thanks for watching.